Hey guys, and welcome to episode 2 of 7 Day Bonds Road to 99 or 120 Slayer, depending on how well we get on with it. So, since previous episode, I have been doing a little bit of money making. With 7 Day Bond, I always go back to Super Antifires. They're one of those methods where I can go and heavily AFK the Phoenix and just go and make the potions at some point as well. So, we have made about, I'd say 40-ish mil. So if we just work off the price of 6 mil from these potions, and roughly about 83, so about 90 mil, and we bought these potions. So yeah, about 43 mil we've made from that stint of potions since the previous video. Basically, I just had some downtime. I was watching the Champions League final, and I basically cracked out the 5k potions there. And just doing that like 3 or 4 times during my bond duration basically pays for the bond without having to rely on Slayer, because we are still in the very early stages of Slayer, and we are level 64. So in terms of this episode, we finished last one on 143 Greater Demons, a task streak of 11. We have now moved over to Curadel because I think Curadel is a bit better for us. Cheldo is just a little bit too low level. So what we're going to do in this episode is basically go and crack some more tasks out. Now, I would like to get towards around 20 tasks. I think for us, the real big push going forward is for us to go and get the Slayer Helm, just because I think it's going to help me a lot personally, just because it's going to make it easier for me to like not have to worry about invo space and stuff like that. We'll see what we do in terms of tasks. The Greater Demons, I actually forgot where you go and kill them. Turns out in the Wilderness they're actually a really good spot, so that's where we're going to go and head off there, while we just go and catch up on some other stuff. Now, in the previous episode, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll make sure to put in the corner of the video for you guys to go and check out. Really happy with the setup. It took a little while to get things sorted, and I think it'll be very noticeable with this account, especially as we go and do all the tasks and stuff. There's certain little things I need to just adjust and change because I probably haven't done it. This account, even though it's near to the point of being maxed, is so underdeveloped just because I have never really played it to that kind of level before. And it's just a lot of catching up to do, really. So we will get there eventually, but for the time being, there will be a couple of times you think, oh my god, he's not done that. And it's just because really, I've not done the combat side and there's quite a lot for me to go and improve on this account. But we'll get there. We'll always call it out when we see it. But in the meantime, let's go and hop onto these Greater Demon tasks. I don't think they're going to be anything too great, just because they're not going to be like a lot of HP by the look of it. They're not going to be the most XP in the world, and they seem quite spread out. But, you know, we can go and AFK it as best we can. Our favourite task from the previous episode is by far Black Demons. I think the Black Demon mask is only every 3 days, so I might not be able to do it in this run-up. But we'll always try it at Slayer Master anyway. So that is pretty much the intro for this account and this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I'm looking for suggestions on how to make these better. If you've got any suggestions of things for me to talk over in like kind of a vloggy style for these Slayer videos, let me know. We can always have a little bit of a breakdown. I am at some point as well going to start breaking down Slayer guides and Slayer tasks into videos. What I want to do first is to have a very broad range of like doing these tasks, just to see if I can find like any of the little things I would do differently, any nuances, and just to make sure like I've got experience with doing them before actually moving on further with them as well. So that is going to be the plan. So any kind of ideas, please let me know. I've never seen a burn note before, so that is weird. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and I hope you're going to enjoy these Slayer videos as well. What they're here for is just a bit of a rough sort of guide and something for you guys to watch in the background as well, because I do think the lower level and the mid-level to a point as well of Slayer is very uncovered and very undetailed, and definitely could be some content I know a lot of people would find helpful and enjoyable at the same time as well. Now, if you are wondering what kind of XP we get for tasks, I'll mention it once we finish the tasks as well, but we do reset the counters for every single task we do, just to make sure we can give you guys a kind of rough guess on what the XP is going to be for combat as well as Slayer as well. We're just going to go off like sort of the XP per hour, and yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and we'll come back once the task is finished. So that's a very random drop, but definitely welcome some Brawling Gloves. So Brawling Gloves for mining, which I was actually thinking of having a stint of mining because it can be something I can do fully AFK. And occasionally as well, mining ores, especially the lower level ones, do go low volume, and you can put them on a Grand Exchange and sell them for an awful lot more than what you think. So mining is heavily profitable in terms of an AFK method. Yeah, some Brawling Gloves, really nice. Not as OP as what they used to be, but they're still a very welcome sight. We will absolutely be using them going forward. 85 left, and I'll see you guys very soon when we finish them. And just as I go to hit the pause recording, 65 Slayer in, which is a really important level because that means we can now do Dust Devils. Dust Devils are still not going to be anything spectacular in terms of tasks, but it's going to be one of those we can use one of our masks for. and get some decent XP. I think anything like sort of like 70, 80k XP in terms of Slayer will be pretty good, and they are a very good dropper of Crimson Charms. Don't really need them, but they will benefit from us from there. So also, while we're here, another achievement coming in where we've killed some of the Zamorakian demons. It's all happening at once. We've literally got the Brawling Gloves, 65 Slayer, and that achievement in the space of about 6 kills, which the aggression has worn off on the demons, so I'm going to use an aggression potion. Always worthwhile going to a spot like this and using the aggression you originally get for free, and then kind of moving on from there as well. But hopefully that should be the last of it, and we'll come back when it's time to go and get a brand new task. So there we go, task all done. We're going to go and head over to war now. What I'm going to do is rotate between the 3 masks I've got, which are going to be daily. That is going to be Bloodveld, Spectres, and then also the Dust Devils. I'm just going to go and try the Black Demons one because I can't remember how many days it has been since we had that task. I have also slightly amended my inventory as well, which I just need to go and save. I'm going to burying away because we're not going to be using Cheldar anymore, so there's no real point in doing it. I'm also as well going to just slightly change things around. I'm equipping the Charming Imp just so I don't have to waste a spot in the invo for that. Just because on a couple of tasks, especially things like Spectres, I have really struggled with inventory space, so that is just something I just kind of need to get sorted. So there we go. I think that's going to be the final inventory, but we shall see how it changes over time because I can guarantee you it will change over time. It's just finding out what's best for us and what suits us the most. So I just need to go and get some runes out. Again, I need to sort out my rune tab because it is quite pitiful at the minute. So we'll definitely go and sort that. So we need Astrals, Airs, and Cosmics, and we also need the Black Demon Mask. If a Black Demon Mask does not work, we will go and simply do Dust Devils. So let's try that one first. Right, okay, so the mask is not usable at the minute, but we can actually use a Slayer token for Black Demons, which is actually not too bad, to be fair. So what I'll go and do now is go and hop over. I can teleport with the mask, even though I can't force the task, I can still teleport with it, which is handy, because this is going to be by far the best XP task. Graters weren't awful, you're talking like a 70k XP Slayer task, but Black Demons, when you start seeing some numbers which come from that, you'll realise just how good they are. So if you do have Slayer masks, even if you don't have the ability to like use it to go and force tasks, you can still use the teleport option. That is really handy as well. Now let's go and set up for Black Demons. This is by far one of my favourite tasks to do because the XP is just crazy. I always set the cannon down in the middle, basically saves me having to do an aggression potion, and also as well means I have all the aggression on me as well. Just simply walk under and the Charming Imp will collect the charms up. There are a few drops on Black Demons which are kind of worthwhile doing. And what I would say is like keep an eye on things like grapes. The grapes will definitely add up, but also the black scimitars. Every time they drop a black scimitar, it's going to be roughly like 15k XP. So really does sort of stack up over time. Now in terms of ranging XP, this is an incredible range training method. It's like 500k range XP per hour. And the Slayer is pretty decent as well. I'll kind of try and catch it midway during the task just so you can see it. But as you can see, the numbers hopping between 500 to 600. It'll level about 550, I think. But it's an incredibly good task. And one thing I'm really happy for as well is the fact we've got looting for. The amount of components we're going to go and get off this task alone is going to be crazy. So I'm just going to go sit back, get this task done, and then I'll talk to you guys when it's done. And we can go through the XP per hour and on to the next one. Okay, absolutely monstered that task. Over 300k Slayer XP per hour is what you're going to get on a Black Demons task, which is just crazy. It is one of my favorite tasks currently, and it's definitely going to be one which is going to be, it's definitely going to be one of those tasks I'm going to try and push for as much as possible because it kind of gives you everything really, the insane XP, the insane charms, and in terms of the drops as well, not too bad on the drops. These are just some things I've picked up in the 2 overload doses we've been there for. I've literally done that task under 10 minutes. And even though it's not a lot, it adds up. And that's the point of Slayer especially, is that all these tasks will add up in GP. And if you're looking for a method to train range extremely quickly, you can't really go wrong using the cannon and just any form of ranging weapon as well. I've got 500k range XP with something like 72 range, which is just crazy how quick that is. So the next one I'm going to go for is going to be the Dust Devils. So one of the OG tasks back in the day. With the mask as well, it will act as the Dust Mask. Same with the Spectres, it will act as a nose peg, but you also get the bonus of having the Slayer Mask. These are why these masks are so good. It's not just the fact you can force your task, it works as a Slayer Mask if it's one of those things you need to use a Slayer Helm for, and you don't have the Slayer Helm. It's really nice to get that. So let's go back to Jorodel. And let's see if we can go and get another task. So for this one, you can still have the choice to go and do some other tasks. Aberrant spectres, camp fighters, or dust devils. We'll just go for the dust devils because that would be a nice little task to go and get done. I don't think I'm going to need any food for dust devils as well as prayer, but we're going to go and find this out. So let's go and hop over. I might need to just drop the cannon in because we might be going to the smoke well. So if we go onto the mask, teleport, we'll find out where it's going to take us and where we're going to go from there. So we do actually have the option of the smoke devils or the chaos tunnels. I'm going to try the chaos tunnels because I think they're quite close together and it might be pretty decent there. So let's go and head over and we'll see how these are. Yeah, 3 spawns here will be more than good enough. We'll go and overload and then we'll also go and aggression potion. Now, dust devils, if you don't have the mask and you forget the mask, there's no point trying to kill them because they'll just automatically lower your stats down and it'll be basically not really worth doing it. So really interested to see how this will be though. Basically, these are semi-decent. They're going to be decent charms. They're really good crimsons back in the day, so we'll find out what they are. 260 Slayer XP per kill isn't actually that bad. I think it will kind of level out at 100k, maybe a bit over. But the range XP is going to be a little bit bad compared to Black Demons. But then again, I think most things will be as well. So let's go and knock this one out and we'll report back very, very soon with what the plan is going forward. Just before we go though, there is level 74 range. The range levels and the combat XP truly is flying in. And hopefully we'll be able to really go and buy some big weapons when we get to the levels and really increase the sort of XP from there. But 66 Slayer and 74 range on this episode so far and up to 13 tasks. So there we go, Dust Devils all done. Probably bring a little bit more food next time, but pretty decent task. Looking about 120k Slayer XP per hour. I've just been sat AFKing, so I finished the task and aggression potion also ran out as well. But time to go and get another one. We're going to use another Slayer mask. So this time, I'm going to go for the Spectre one. So if we just do that and go to Duradel, we're going to go to do a Spectre task. I've got a much bigger invo this time. So what I'm going to go and do is re-gear, get some prayer points, and I'll meet you guys back at the Spectres task. So that is another task down. Aberrant Spectres done, and that is 15 total Slayer tasks completed. So in terms of that one, Spectres is going to be a pretty standard drop table. It's mainly herbs you're going to receive, and you do need the invo space really to be able to sort of like take all the herbs up. In terms of how much that's kind of made us, again, 100k Slayer XP really isn't too bad. 23k Slayer XP for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. It isn't bad at all, which is hopefully why we're going to sort of fly through all these levels. We did actually get another Slayer level as well, so we are now level 67 Slayer, which isn't too bad at all. If we throw all these in, Marinteals are actually quite expensive, or they were at least, but the herbs do eventually add up, and the seeds as well. So Fellstalk seeds seem to be a little bit more on the price side compared to where seed prices are. And then once we've put in the final lava battle staff and stuff, 400k for about 10 to 15 minutes work really isn't that bad. So what we're going to do next is the final one. We're going to go and do some Bloodvelds. Now, the only reason I'm doing Bloodvelds at the minute is simply for the reason of I'm a lowest sort of Slayer level and they'll be beneficial. They do now have congealed blood on their drop table, so they do make a little bit more profit than what you would typically think they would. So hopefully we'll make a little bit more money than normal, but even then, it's going to be the XP we're mainly after, and we're just going to go kill him in the Slayer Tower. I don't have the quest to be able to go and kill him in the lab, but maybe that's something we'll do when we get the motivation to do the quest. So just go to NPC contact Druido real quick. We'll go and force this task, and what we can do as well while wearing the mask, especially the ones which we can sort of like use daily, is if we get something which is better, so let's say we get Black Demons, we can still do that and we can still use our mask a little bit later on, so we don't always have to use the mask straight away. So in this case, Iron Dragons or Fire Giants if we want to use the sort of Slayer tokens, those tasks aren't really better than Bloodvelds, but if we got something like Black Demons, we could always go and do that and use our Bloodveld mask later on when it's time to do it. But there we go, so that is that. We're going to teleport directly there. And I'll come back when we have finished this. I've not done Bloodvelds in an awful long time, so really interested to see what kind of XP rates we're going to get. Okay, so that is Bloodvelds all done. Pretty decent task. The majority of the GP we're going to make from this is going to come from congealed blood. Although things like runestone spirits are worth picking up, and it's going to be something I'll try and make an effort to do through all the tasks. Some of those lower stone spirits will actually make you some decent cash, as well as some of the very niche wood spirits as well. So we'll try and keep an eye on them, and it might be worth taking an ore box for that as well. I'm going to go and grab another task. I've kind of ran out of all of the masks I can use at the minute. We did actually get another Slayer level 68 now, which is pretty nice. That is Spiritual Warriors. Spiritual Warriors is actually a very, very good task. just for things like having War Priest disassemble, and also very good for like alcohols, supersets. Very good thing to have in the personal slave dungeon. We're not quite there yet, but definitely in the future it's something we're going to go and look at as well. This is going to be a task where I'll either be this or using a skip ticket. In terms of those, I'm not sure how many I've got, so I don't want to be too quick in spending them, because it might be something where I'm going to have to like keep them just to have options to do this as well. So we've only got 30. I'm going to put them in my currency pouch just so I can keep an eye on them. And then let's see what Duradell's got for us. So we're going to click the NPC spell. Duradell, what Slayer task has he got for us? New Slayer assignment. So we can get Fungal Magi or Bloodvelds. We are definitely going to go Bloodvelds there. Maybe a waste of a ticket, but it's definitely better than doing those fungal ones. Maybe when we can do the next tier up, we'll go and do those. But for now, we'll just go and focus on the Bloodvelds. Also have 10 more VIP tickets as well. And I think I've ripped these and I can get more. So let's redeem them all, and that's just 10 VIP tickets. That didn't go as well as I hoped, but at least we've got 39 to go for. I'm going to go and do another round of Bloodveld task, and then we'll look back at where we've got in terms of that. Range is getting on, 40k from 76, really starting to fly up, and the Slayer XP is following as well. So there we go, another Bloodveld task done. So because today is a fresh day, our Bloodveld mask has reset, so while we're here, may as well have brought the NPC contact runes. Go to Duradell, get another Bloodveld task, and just continue going. We've got another 3 tasks till we finish this video, and we won't quite get to a Slayer mask in this video, but definitely in the next one we'll definitely get there. Like I said before, you do have all these different options, so you don't always have to take your Slayer mask as the first task, but compared to Black Dragons and Iron Dragons, definitely the choice for this one. So we'll go and take the Bloodveld, and go and whack on the Overload and the Aggression Potion, and then basically go in AFK. So I killed around 140-ish on the last task in about 2 Overload and Aggression doses, which just shows you how many kills per hour you can get once you're in the sort of right spots. And with sort of like Runescape free combat now, it really is so quick. But I'm going to go and wrap this task up, and we'll come back when we're ready for the next one. Right, so second Bloodveld task of the day, getting wrapped up really quick. We've racked up a decent amount of the congealed blood as well, nearly 1,000 of that, which isn't as much as we think. Probably going to be like 250-ish, yeah, 300k. But it all adds up, which is really good. In terms of what we're going to go do now, I still have a Dust Devil task I can force with a mask, so we're going to go do that. On that task as well, we're actually going to get level 69 Slayer, which would be really decent. Definitely working towards those bigger levels. I think the next real big milestone we're going to get is going to be level 75, because then we can do gargoyles. I have actually finished my first salamander, so we're tier 10 on the black salamander, so we can go and harvest that one. One thing which isn't like a massive push, but it's still nice to do on this account as well, is to go and get some invention. We aren't 120, and the closer we get to 120, the nicer we make things a little bit later on, in terms of things like getting perks and stuff as well. So to do that is really nice. I'm just going to go and do this. I need to go and pick up some more augmenters, so that's what I'm going to go and do after we go and get that task. But we're going to go and push for Bloodvelds, but we're going to go and wear the Dust Devil ones. If we get something better like Black Demons, we'll take that. But if not, Dust Devils will be a really nice task. And this is such a good way to go and build up your Slayer points, because at minimum, every day I have a Spectres, Dust Devils, and Bloodveld task. They will give me 3 tasks per day, which is roughly about 50 points. So if I wanted to do it very gradually and just do those 3 tasks, I can really start building up some Slayer points, which is what I need to do for the time being, and then maybe someday we'll get a block list going as well. So we can have Suquars, Bloodvelds, or Dust Devils. We're going to pick the Dust Devils because they're kind of the best task out of 3 to give me some more Slayer XP, which is what we're after. So what I'll do is I'll see you guys once we finish that task. I'm just going to run to the Grand Exchange really quickly and just go and get some more augmenters, and then we can whack that on a salamander and get going. We are also as well level 76 range, very close to 77. Once I get to level 80, I am going to treat myself to a Zarite bow, because I think that'd be a really nice upgrade, and the Zarite bow will kind of carry us through to like level sort of like 90ish range, which is really decent. But we'll come through when the Dust Devils are done, because that's going to be the one before the final task. Have managed to sell some super anti-fires, which is good. Anti-fires went really cheap last night, so I managed to pick some up for 7.2k, so I'll do them at some point as well. Just literally trying to do a few things which will help the account pay for its membership. I was doing a bit of sifting soil last night as well. I think I'll always do them in the Chaos Tunnels. I just need to remember to bank my cannon because it's too heavy to go and take in. So if we teleport there. The Smoke Dungeon isn't bad from what I can remember, and I'm pretty sure you can actually use your cannon there, but I just think the Chaos Tunnels are a lot more clumped together, and that's what I'm kind of after for the ability to go in AFK. So there we go, level 69 Slayer. Not sure if we'll be able to squeeze 70 for this episode, but we'll definitely try and push and see what we can do. 70k XP, yeah, we're not too far, but we're definitely starting to level up, which is what we're here for. However, I'm just going to go and finish this task now. Dust Devils don't really drop anything of interest. Really, I'm just here for the charms, the XP, the AFKness, and also for scavenging to come in hard. Since I've got scavenging 4, because I've been using scavenging 2 on the Hogger, scavenging 4 is literally so good, and it's such a marked improvement compared to scavenging 2. But it is getting me so many components, which is nice, because after a decent stint at Slayer, when we get something like level 99, and with Max, I'd probably look at getting some of the top tier perks. But hopefully by that time, we've gained an awful lot of components, and I've also leveled up my invention level really high as well. So that's all work in progress, and it's stuff we'll pick up during this Slayer series. Okay, so we have just finished the Dust Devil task. Nice and steady with that one as well. So what we're going to be using for the final task of the episode, we're going to be using that aberrant spectre mask. Let's see if we get anything different in terms of the task. So I am waiting for some more black demons, because that is by far the best task we can currently get to that level. So final one, not done too bad to be fair. It's really not taking that long in terms of the time to monster through the task for this episode. What I'm thinking of doing is for every single episode, going for around 10 tasks. Avencies or cow fights. That's actually a pretty big one. Could we do Armadillo? Yeah, we're going to do Armadillo. We're going to do Armadillo for a task, and maybe it can be the first time we'll make some GP from it. So for an Armadillo task, we're going to have to work out what's the best inventory. It might be better for me to go and take Necromancy, if I'm honest, because it's going to be by far the best DPS we've got. But what I'll do actually, I'm going to wrap the video up a task early, and then next episode we'll make sure to do 11. Avencies is going to be a pretty big task to get started on. But in terms of this episode and what we made in terms of progress, up to level 69 Slayer, we'll definitely get into the 70s in the next one. And also 77 range. It's amazing, like, just by doing Slayer tasks, how quick your combat XP comes up. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know any suggestions of things you want me to talk about or do in these episodes. Whether you just want me to keep talking between tasks on what's happened, what we've got in terms of XP, GP and all that sort of stuff. But the next one, starting off with an Avency task and going to Kriara, is going to be a pretty big one. Should be able to do that in one trip because we'll have to get 40 KC, so we're going to have to do about sort of 20-ish boss kills, which should be more than able to do on this account. But I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you are, please let me know in the comment section down below. Any suggestions to make the series better, let me know and I'll make sure to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.